Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Fakir binti Syaril Haisab, matrix number 25005186. Today, I'm going to explore a topic that is fundamental to understanding the history and future of Islamic finance. I am talking about an institution that has guaranteed social security and managed public wealth since the early days of Islam. That topic is BAITULMAL, the core Islamic financial institution for achieving al-falah. So, the BAITULMAL is the fundamental financial institution of an Islamic state. Its primary function is the collection, administration, and disbursement of public funds according to Shariah or Islamic law. The institution was established during the time of Rasulullah SAW in Madinah. Since the early Islamic state was small, the BAITULMAL did not exist as a formal department. Funds like zakat and war spoils were simply collected and immediately distributed. The system began to evolve and formalize during the era of the Khulafa al-Rashidin. The major change happened under Khalifah Umar ibn al-Khattab, as the Islamic Empire expanded rapidly, bringing in huge new revenues like al-Haraj and Jizya. The old informal system was no longer enough. Khalifah Umar then officially established the systematic BAITULMAL structure. The institutional structure was designed to manage wealth with justice, directly supporting the community's needs and ensuring the achievements of the ultimate Islamic economic goal, which is al-falah, and comprehensive well-being. Now, let me examine the evolution of this vital institution across different eras. So, as stated by Muhammad Ashifa'ul Hayat Jahidi in his article, the BAITULMAL system has existed since the time of the Prophet Muhammad SAW in Medina. Initially, this institution did not exist formally due to the small size of the country and limited revenue. However, the Prophet Muhammad still made mosques such as Masjid Nabawi as a central treasury, managing the collection and distribution of funds immediately. During this period, the treasury was separated from the executive, which he appointed two separate officers, namely the governor and the zakat collector in each Islamic conquered territory. This shows the separation of power when this collector is independent of the executive and is directly responsible to the central administration in Medina. So in general, the budget policy at that time was in a balanced state. This means that there was no surplus or deficit in drafting the national budget. This also means that the management of BAITULMAL at that time was not a big problem and was at a moderate level. Next, it's Abu Bakr. During the time of Khalifah Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, the use of the term BAITULMAL was not yet used systematically. In general, society and the government at that time still used the same method as practiced by the Prophet ﷺ before. In his management, he placed BAITULMAL in a building that was specific and immediately spent for the purpose of social welfare for Muslims. However, the war that took place to fight the Ar-Riddah group had an impact on the amount of income of BAITULMAL, which was increasingly declining and unable to be expanded. There is no clear report on the national income during the reign of Khalifah Abu Bakr other than collection of a certain amount in the taxation of war booty in Iraq and Syria. However, the treasury was placed under the administration of Amir al-Haraj, who was also the chief financial manager at that time. What can be concluded is, among the income of BAITULMAL during the time of Abu Bakr was the proceeds of the collection of zakat and fitrah, jizya and land taxation. Next, Khalifah Umar al-Khattab. Under the ruler of Umar al-Khattab, the BAITULMAL was finally formally and systematically established. This major change was necessary because the Islamic State was rapidly expanding, conquering vast territories such as Iraq, Syria, and Egypt. This brought about a huge increase in the country's revenue, creating a critical need for efficient management, Following the advice, Khalifah Umar created a specialized financial department, the Diwan, and centralized the main office in Medina with branches in each province. This organized structure became the basis for public finance and also marked the beginning of a new era in the history of the formal establishment of the BAITULMAL for the Islamic State. The vast wealth that was collected was not just stored, it was strategically invested in the development of the country. Among these are the construction of a network of roads and bridges throughout the country, the construction of religious institutions, including thousands of mosques throughout the country, the expansion of the Masjid Al-Haram in Mecca and the Masjid Al-Nabawi in Medina, and there are new cities and towns including Basra, Kufa, Fustat and Jazira in Egypt. Third, BAITULMAL under Khalifah Osman. So the BAITULMAL under Khalifah Osman bin Affan continued to strong, systematic structure created by Umar, reflecting a vast and stable empire. His changes were mainly administrative tweaks to optimize finance. Key updates include deducting zakat directly from government pensions and paying the portion of homes to the Prophet's relative. On the revenue front, he made adjustments to taxation, such as imposing the jizya tax on non-Ahli Al-Kitab population in Africa. For expenditure, he focused on welfare, diversity and infrastructure. He used BAITULMAL funds to distribute zakat as food as mosques, paid salaries to prisoners for public service, and undertook large projects like enlarging the Prophet's mosque, which is Masjid Nabawi, and the Madinah Canal, ensuring the system efficiently served the growing needs of the empire. And last, BAITULMAL under Khalifah Ali. The management of the BAITULMAL under Khalifah Ali ibn Abi Talib was dominated by a major political crisis. The greatest challenge was the financial instability caused by major provinces such as Syria and Fars, refusing to pay taxes and securing from the central government. Despite the pressure, the administration focus shifted to managing these internal conflicts. Major changes in the management of the BAITULMAL during the reign of Ali included raising the pension rates for the Iraq population as a supportive measure and strategically moving the central administration of the BAITULMAL from Medina to Kufa, which became the new political capital. So these adjustments were essential to adapting the BAITULMAL system to the harsh political and geographical realities of the time. In conclusion, the management of the BAITULMAL from the time of the Prophet ﷺ through the Khulafa Rashidin is a story of a financial institution driven by unyielding Islamic ethics. Its principles were always rooted in trust, amanah, in managing assets, truthfulness, siddiq, in record keeping, justice, adil, in distribution, and excellence, ihsan, in execution. The ultimate goal of the BAITULMAL from its inception to its modern role is to achieve al-falah, holistic economic success and well-being for the entire community. This legacy is highly relevant today. In Malaysia, state-level BAITULMAL institutions administered by the State Islamic Religious Council, or known as SMAIN, are the direct embodiment for this historical structure. They function as the chief custodians of public Muslim wealth, primarily focusing on the collection and efficient distribution of zakat, and the management and investment of wakaf properties. For instance, BAITULMAL provides crucial aid for poverty eradication, educational scholarship for students, asnaf, housing assistance, and even capital for business venture. However, the modern BAITULMAL faces complex challenges such as optimizing returns from investment and addressing complex urban poverty issues. Therefore, continuous effort in governance, transparency, and innovation are crucial to ensure these institutions not only remain Sharia compliant, but also become a proactive economic catalyst in fulfilling the maqasid al-Shariah, objective of Islamic law, and truly achieving al-falah for the ummah today. Inshallah, that's all from me for my public speaking. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.